From a personnel standpoint, the most obvious subtractions from this team are Caleb Williams, Mario Williams, Jaden Hazelwood, Kennedy Brooks, the first three because of transfers. And that's just on the offensive side. So there's a number of comments being made in the chat about Lincoln Riley. So you wonder how much, based on what you just outlined of the performance last year that finished black and white 11-2, but there are a lot of shaky performances. Maybe they weren't that good. How much of this is because Lincoln Riley left? You lose this great coach. He took all these players with him. Other players went elsewhere. And how much of it was already unraveling or deteriorating even with Lincoln Riley had he stayed?
Yeah, no, that's a good question, Mark. Yeah, I mean, I think if he had stayed with Oklahoma, you wouldn't have seen this type of season, right? I mean, they would have. I think they, by and large, they probably would have held together all the recruits. Spencer Rattler was going to leave regardless, so it wouldn't have mattered if he was here. Obviously, Caleb Williams would still be here. Um, I think you're probably kind of the same team that you were a year ago, and that they have been. I think this team would be much better offensively. I think maybe better suited offensively, but probably on the defensive side of the ball, you wouldn't. You would certainly be better than what they've played thus far, right, this year, which is mind-boggling to say 6 weeks into the year. I don't think anyone necessarily would have said that USC has a much better defense than Oklahoma this year. But yeah, I think but I don't think they were going to win a national championship with Lincoln Riley based on the way they believed in winning. Now I can be wrong. I could be wrong. They could go through the Pac-12, make the playoffs this year, and prove me wrong, and a lot of other Oklahoma um, fans and people wrong, and at least win a playoff game. But so I think that's part of it, right? Mark took some of his recruits with him, took some of the players you'd mentioned, Caleb Williams and Mario Williams, Jaden Hazelwood went to Arkansas. You've got 3 or 4 guys off the defensive side of the ball that went to the NFL. You've got just defections, just in general, moving on. Um, so yeah, I think it's a combination of a lot of things. I think it's a combination of the recruits that they left, a combination of a lot of the talent that they that left on the defensive side of the ball. I think it's a combination of what's happening this year in terms of kind of the buy-in um, situation. I think a lot of people, maybe including myself, expected miracle work in a strength and conditioning program in just one off season, where that takes a couple of years to build to where you want it to be. And so maybe even more importantly for what's going on is how important it's going to be for them to hold on to this recruiting class, for one, and then two, I mean, I think they're probably going to have to be really, really active in the portal in the off season, because there's already some talk about a decent amount of defections from this team, moving forward. So we'll see how that plays out. Obviously, when you're in the midst of the storm, so to speak, it's a little bit of a whirlwind. Can't really see too far ahead. You're only seeing 5 feet in front of you. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, I mean, I just generally speaking, I think it's a manifestation of a lot of different things, timing and when he left, guys that left, and then just you know people that left the program to go to the NFL or wherever that might have been.
Yeah, I thought we might be at this stage in the season defending Brent Venables, saying, okay, the record's 3-3, but they lost this game by 3. They lost this game by a touchdown. sometimes the transition from one coach to another means you have to take a step back before you can go forward. But just the level of play on the field the last 2 weeks is just alarming beyond belief.